Welcome back. Now what we need to do is that we need to work on the read more button. If user clicks on read more, we want to take the user to a new page and display that article that the user is interested to read more about. So to do that, here in this index we have a form, and that form should store all information related to a specific headline. Therefore, I'm going to be using inputs, and I'm going to store the article information in these inputs. So the first input, I'm going to say type, and the type is going to be text. And I'm going to store, what do we want to store? We want to store more information such as the description, the content, the published at, the URL. Let's store these. So I'm going to store the description first. I'm going to say text, and then I'm going to say value, and the value is going to be equal to PHP, and then I'm going to say echo, and then I'm going to echo the object, and then description, and then semicolon. And we need to give it a name. I'm going to say name. The name is going to be equal to description. Let's also store input. I'm going to store two other things. I'm going to store the content. First, the type is going to be text. The value is going to be equal to PHP, and then echo, and then object, and then content, and then semicolon, and don't forget to close the PHP here, script. And then name, the name is going to be equal to content. And then I'm going to add here the angular bracket. Let's also store the URL. I'm going to say input, and then type, text, value is equal to PHP, echo, and then I'm going to say object, and then URL. And then I'm going to give it a name as well. I'm going to say here name. The name is going to be URL. And don't forget to close the angular bracket. And if you just save and refresh, you'll find that these will be displayed in the front end. And obviously, we don't want that because this is not our goal. Our goal is to store these in the front end, but hide them. So how can we hide these inputs? To hide these inputs, you can simply here say style, and then display none. Similarly here, I'm going to say style, and then display none. Similarly for the last one, I'm going to say style, display none. Now if you refresh, you will not find these inputs anymore. However, they exist in the web page, but they aren't being displayed. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we want to transfer these inputs, these values, to the new page once the user clicks on one of these buttons. For example, if the user clicks on this, read more, we want to get information related to this article and take it to a new page to display it to the user. So what I'm going to do is that here, to do that, to transfer these values, we need to give this form action and method. First, I'm going to say method. So the method is going to be equal to post, whereas the action is going to be the file that's going to handle the transfer. So the file is going to be single underscore, or let's say single camel case, single article .php. So this is going to be the file that's going to display the news headline about more information about that specific news headline if the user wants to read more about a specific news headline. So let's create this file. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create that new file here. Here I'm going to create a new file called single article.php, and then we need to work on this file in order to display the information about that specific article.